Caitlin Clark's journey in the WNBA has been anything but quiet. From the very moment she entered the league, the spotlight has followed her every move. Her performances, her leadership, and even her personality have all become hot topics. But recently, one moment has captured the attention of fans, analysts, and players across the country. The announcement of the 2025 WNBA All-Star voting results, and it didn't go unnoticed that a significant number of WNBA players didn't vote. For her, the moment the final vote counts were made public, people were stunned. How could the most popular player in the league, who's breaking viewership records and filling arenas, face this kind of rejection from her own peers? Caitlin Clark was named an All-Star. Yes, but here's the twist. She wasn't voted in. By her fellow WNBA players in large numbers, fans and media carried her over the finish line. And when the player vote numbers came out, it became clear many within the league simply didn't have her back. Some called it jealousy, others labeled it politics, but to many it looked like betrayal. So when Caitlin finally responded to what went down, people were all ears. Clark's reaction was, as always, measured. She didn't lash out. She didn't point fingers. Instead, she spoke with the same poise and class that made her a fan favorite in the first place. When asked about being left off many player ballots, Clark said, "I don't take any of it personally. There are so many great players in this league who deserve to be recognized. I'm just grateful the fans and media believe in me." A simple statement, but a powerful one. Because make no mistake, this wasn't just a normal voting result. The fans voted her #1 overall. The media ranked her high, yet in the player vote, she barely cracked the top 10 among guards. And for someone averaging double-digit points and assists while playing under pressure every single night, that raised eyebrows. Let's be clear, Clark is not just popular, she's productive. She leads the Indiana Fever, not just in scoring, but in heart. Her work ethic is unmatched. Her performances are clutch. So why would so many of her peers leave her off their ballots? The conversation quickly turned to locker room politics. Some insiders hinted that certain veterans in the league felt Clark was too hyped. Others believed she was earning attention too quickly without paying her so-called dues. That mindset of gatekeeping success has long existed in sports, but this time, fans weren't having it. Social media erupted. People called out the apparent bias. "This is clearly jealousy," one tweet read. "How do you not vote in the rookie that's saving your league?" Even former players weighed. In WNBA legends like Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo commented on the voting dynamic. Leslie stated, "It's disappointing to see that kind of voting from within the league. Caitlin has earned every bit of that all-star spot." That kind of support meant something. It reminded people that respect in sports isn't about time served, it's about impact. And Clark has already made a historic impact. But what really drew attention was how Clark continued to play amid the controversy. In the very next game after the All-Star selections, she posted a near triple-double and led her team to a dramatic victory. No antics, no drama, just results. That performance sent a message without a single word: she's here to compete. No matter what's happening off the court, the timing of all this couldn't have been more intense. The league is in the middle of its most watched season ever, thanks in large part to Caitlin Clark. Whether people love her or love to hate her, she brings attention. She fills arenas, boosts TV ratings, and gets people talking. Some say she's already done more for the WNBA in a few months than most players have in years. That's not her fault. That's the reality of generational talent. But here's where it gets even more complex. Some of the players who didn't vote for Clark have played alongside her on Team USA training camps or have shared the court in tight games. They know what she brings to the floor. So the decision not to support her wasn't a basketball one, it was personal. And that's the part that stings the most for fans. It paints a picture of division at a time when unity could have taken the league even further. For her part, Clark didn't throw shade, but her teammates, especially those on the Indiana Fever, did make subtle gestures of support. During shoot-arounds and practice, there were signs that the locker room had her back. And behind the scenes, sources say that Clark has become even more focused, spending extra hours in the gym, studying film, and lifting up her younger teammates. She's using the snub as fuel. And let's not forget what All-Star Weekend represents. It's not just about the stats, it's about respect, recognition, legacy. For a player like Caitlin Clark, who carried the hopes of an entire fan base from college into the pros, being questioned by her peers cuts deep. But her reaction, pure class, she said at the end of the day, "We're all trying to grow this league. I'll continue to do my part. The fans have been amazing, and that's who I play for." That right there is why fans adore her. Not just because she scores or passes with brilliance, but because she leads with grace. Still, there's no denying this moment will stick with her. Great athletes always remember who believed in them and who didn't. And you can bet Clark will carry this moment into the All-Star game itself, where all eyes will be on how she performs. Every move she makes will be analyzed. Every shot, every pass, every minute she plays will be seen through the lens of redemption. There's also growing talk about how this situation could change how the WNBA handles future All-Star votes. Should players have so much weight in the decision-making? Should there be transparency around why certain players were left off? These are real questions. Because when politics overtake performance, the credibility of the entire system comes into question. Clark's fan base, which is massive and fiercely loyal, won't forget this. They've already made their voices heard. Merchandise sales for her jersey are still #1 in the league. Her name dominates highlight reels and post-game interviews. She's become the face of a league that wasn't always sure how to handle a star of her magnitude, and now that the players' vote has been revealed, many are wondering if the league itself has a responsibility to protect rising stars from internal sabotage. Still, Caitlin Clark isn't going anywhere. If anything, this moment might have hardened her resolve. The adversity, the subtle digs, the lack of peer support aids, all becoming part of her story. And if her college career taught us anything, it's that she thrives in these moments. When people doubt her, she delivers. When the pressure rises, she elevates. And now, with the All-Star game approaching, she has one more stage to remind the world and the league exactly who she is. Her reaction to being betrayed by her peers wasn't loud. It wasn't emotional. It was controlled, powerful, and focused. She let the game speak. She let her fans speak. And perhaps most importantly, she stayed true to herself. In a league that sometimes eats its young, Clark is writing a different kind of story, one where resilience matters more than recognition, and where character shines brighter than any stat sheet. As the All-Star break approaches, there's no question that Caitlin Clark will be the most watched player on the court. Not just because of her skills, but because of what she represents. A new generation of stars who refuse to be defined by others' opinions. If her reaction has proven anything, it's that greatness doesn't need validation, just needs opportunity. And that opportunity is just beginning.